Hey guys, so I am back again with another video today, guys, and I mentioned this a few days ago on my Twitter account, and I basically asked who wanted to know how to fly for free. Um, and I'm not talking about real deal, like impossible ways to fly for free, like, oh, my uncle knows the guy who runs the... No, it's actually like legitimate ways to be able to fly for free. And the simplest way to get this done is to be brand loyal, right? So brand loyal basically meaning you have to do your research and be comfortable with the airline and stick with that airline. Now, in my specific case, I am very loyal to the airline JetBlue. And no, this is not a sponsor. I am not sponsored by them in any way, shape, or form. But JetBlue, if you are watching, feel free to reach out. My email is nedrikmccoy@gmail.com. I love your airlines, and I have I only fly on JetBlue. Like within the last 4 years, everywhere that I've been, I flew on JetBlue, and that's because I did my research. I found out that JetBlue is the best airline for me. What were my traveling tendencies? I go, so JetBlue has a nice terminal in Fort Lauderdale. They have a nice terminal in New York, and they also they also fly into DC. As you can see Howard University. So basically, they have great service in every situation, and they fly into most cities that I would say I frequently travel to. Now, when you join a airline, and now I can only speak on JetBlue's program specifically, but I'm pretty sure many other airlines also have a loyalty program or something along the lines of being able to get points or miles, so to speak, right? So the more you fly with them, you get points or you get miles. And now in JetBlue's situation, you get points, right? And for every purchase that you make on JetBlue, such as a flight, right? You get points towards something else, something that can be used in many different ways. Like, trust me, you could use it to pay for your hotel, you could use it to pay for your Amazon. Like, it's really ridiculous the amount of points you can rack up and then also be able to utilize. And the real reason, like, why I choose JetBlue, other than the fact that that's the best airline for me, is that the TrueBlue points don't expire. The TrueBlue points can be multiplied based on certain things that may occur. If you book online, you can get up to 6 points instead of 3 points on a very base fare. And if you guys want me to get more in depth on the actual numbers and like actually maybe paying for a flight, I can show you guys that situation in a separate video. But in this video, I just wanted to give you a brief rundown as to how I'm able to fly for free sometimes. So basically, like I said, it's now that you're brand loyal to this airline, you always use them every single time. Maybe you went to New York on a round trip, and then you went to Virginia on a round trip, and then maybe you went to Los Angeles on a round trip, right? Now, you paid for those flights, and within those 3 flights, you've accumulated some type of points. Whether you bought it online through that airline's portal, so you get more points because you're bringing them traffic, or maybe you bought even more space seats, which even more space, that term goes with JetBlue, and that's an extra, I believe, 200 points per flight. Or maybe you brought your dog along, you get more points. Or maybe you purchased food on the flight, you get more points. literally almost anything that you do from the moment that you purchase your ticket to getting off that plane at your destination, there's many ways to redeem points. So it's really up to you so that you can go ahead and be able to look for those ways and make sure that you can exploit those ways to get the most points maximum as possible. Sometimes you may have to adjust your itinerary with traveling. I mean, even though they have no blackout dates on those points, right? You can use it whenever, any day. Sometimes you may realize that if you were to leave maybe an hour earlier or an hour later on that flight, you have the opportunity to make much more points than if you were to pick another flight. So in that situation, that's the way it would take you all out of your normal itinerary. But what is really an hour if I can save $40 on my next flight? You see what I'm saying? So it's really helping not only you but also the airline to be brand loyal, because maybe that flight was overbooked, or maybe that flight is usually crowded, and now that you took a different flight, it allows more space for other customers to come through. All right, now this next part, I talked to you guys about basically something that almost anyone can do. Signing up for a JetBlue, TrueBlue account, or signing up for maybe American Airlines or Delta's brand loyalty program. Like, again, I don't know exactly the terminology that they use for those programs, but basically signing up for those accounts is your very first step. I did that before I was even 18, right? But the next step that can greatly increase the amount of points that you'll get is for people who are 18 and up and are interested in opening a line of credit. Now, I would personally suggest that you open up a credit account as early as you can humanly possible on your 18th birthday, something like that, because the length of your history is a great determining factor in your credit score. Now, if you guys, again, I'm not posing another question to the audience, but if you want me to go in depth in certain credit scores and how to create or maintain a credit score, I would recommend to you guys the book Broke Millennial. I'll leave it in the description below, but that book has helped me learn a lot, along with a couple other YouTubers. I'll leave their links in the description below as well. But basically, with the airline credit card now, you can, for every purchase that you make, whether it be on getting food or buying gas, those points can then accumulate and be posed towards your flight program. Now, if you were to get the JetBlue credit card with Barclay card, it's a MasterCard. That card is an option. I know that Citi does a card with American Airlines, I believe, and you can get points off that. And there's different tiers of these credit cards. There's like a basic amount, or the entry level version, I should say, and then there's usually the premier version, or like elite version, I should say. Those cards tend to give you much more points on purchases, as the basic ones, again, are just entry levels. So they give you a bonus, but not as much as if you were to get the premier, or a higher level, a higher tier card, I should say. And again, if you guys want me to go in depth on maybe just specifically airline cards or credit cards in general, and how to build your credit and things you should look out for when you're trying to pick your new first credit card or pick your second one, please give this video a thumbs up and leave it in the description. I'm very, very glad to talk about that. Alright guys, so that is all for today's video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I will be sure to answer you. Other than that, please just go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and make sure you join the Insight. Peace.